December of 2022, I took myself on a trip to Tasmania that I hadn't planned. Okay, well, I kind of did plan it, but it just wasn't in the way that I'd expected. See, originally I'd set myself the goal of hiking the Overland Track, a tough, week-long trek through the Tasmanian wilderness where you have to carry everything you need to survive for the next 7 days on your back. The only thing is that a little over 3 months out from this trip, I broke my tibia skiing. Despite my best efforts to rehab in time, I had to pull out a week before and quickly recalibrated what I would do instead. Anecdotally hearing about all the free camping sites available in Tasmania, I figured my best bet was to rent a camper of sorts and just sort of hit the road. I thought this would be pretty straightforward, but not unlike the circumstances leading up to this trip, I'd be proven pretty wrong. If you've never been to Tasmania before, of which I also hadn't at the time, it can be pretty wild, unpredictable, and, for the coastal Sydney-sider like myself, bloody cold. But it was also breathtaking, rejuvenating, and full of people seeking the same adventurous stories as myself, or at least in the places where I did run into people. Otherwise, expect long days of quiet and introspective solitude. My very first stop on this trip was Macintosh Dam, which is a place that I found, honestly, by just looking at other people's pins on Google Maps. But first, I had to cross the actual dam wall, which I was originally a little bit nervous about because I'd heard reports that if the water level is too high, you can't get back across. Obviously, that was actually fine. What was really more nerve-wracking was how narrow this road was and how I had not yet gotten used to driving such a big car. Let me show you these mountains. I mean, what the hell? What is this place? Just end of the road. I gotta say, this is a new level of remote that I'm not used to. I feel like I need to be quiet for some reason. Like I'm gonna be disturbing the absolute no one that's here. Anyway, I'm gonna be making my coffee. That's wild. That is not okay. On the top. Still not great. Well, lesson learned, Trangia not good for using in the wind. I'm not really sure what kind of story I want to tell here. I think I just want somewhere to share my thoughts and just really document this time that I'm having in my own company, on the road, probably going to places where I feel very, very alone. Not lonely, but alone. We've just been blessed with a little Tassie sunshine, which apparently is hard to come by, I have learnt. But this is where I'm sleeping for the night, and this is my view. How's that? this is the beast all set up and ready to go. We've got the rooftop tent up there and fridge and stove and cooking equipment in the back. And my only concern is, well, needing to pee in the middle of the night. We'll be right. How could you possibly complain when that's your view? How is any of this real? How do I get to sleep here tonight? What? So tonight you're going to be staying with me at Lake Rosebery Campground, which is a free camping site. And probably more amazing to me is that the maximum stay is 7 days, which seems like a lot, but I'm only going to be staying here for one night. And it's just as well that it's not far from the main road because it is my first night solo camping in Tasmania. And there's quite a bit of wind on the way, I think, like 40-kilometre wind. It's so windy here tonight that I'm really struggling to cook any dinner. I think I've used like half the gas cooker. If I position my body like this near the pan, tends to create a bit of a windbreak. Oh my god. Today has been something else. I feel pretty overwhelmed, I'm gonna be honest. I am very much out of my comfort zone. The weather is so much colder than I expected it to be. I think I'm going to basically hang out here until it's time to go to sleep. Hopefully I feel a little better in the morning because at this rate I kind of feel like booking a hotel. I really never thought that I would feel this way, but I do. All I had to do was wait out a few hours of 40-kilometre winds, and now this. It is obscenely peaceful. The twilight colours and the reflection on the water, I mean, it's like an absolute dream. So I do feel a little more settled now, and I'm ready for bed. I can already tell that this trip is going to push and challenge me in ways that I couldn't have anticipated. It's less about the physical exertion I would have felt had I made the hike, and more about the unknown. I don't have much of a plan for this journey, and I go into each day not sure where to spend the night. And I'll admit, for me, that's new. Alright, I think we're good to go. Camp packed up. And I'll just say goodbye to the view. Bye, view. I was just driving down the road with no real great plan of what I was going to do today, and I just discovered that Tasmania is full of these great short walks. I have no idea how I didn't really know about these before coming here, although I suppose it's because I had a much larger walk planned. This particular walk is 3 hours return, but the end goal is one of the highest waterfalls in all of Tasmania, which I imagine is a pretty big feat given the number of waterfalls that would be around here. The trail itself follows an old train track that used to service gold and copper mines around here. I thought about not doing this hike because I was feeling incredibly exhausted this morning. And I just thought, I don't have the energy to try and find some kind of adventure, and a short walk in Tasmania is 3 hours long at least. But mustered up my strength, drove out to the trailhead, and I said I'll decide when I get there. And I started walking and thought, if I want to, I can always turn around. I feel like now that I'm actually here, I can feel the breath restored back into not just my lungs, but my soul. Like, it's making me feel better. Feel, pardon the pun, more on track now. Find my groove. I just found that there's an old remnant part of the cave system here in the mine shaft. Am I game? Can I do it? Can I venture in there alone without completely losing my mind? Let me get my head torch. No, not alone. I'm afraid of the dark. So I'm almost at the waterfall now, as you can probably hear, and oh my god, this is the highest, wobbliest, narrowest suspension bridge that I have ever set foot on. I'm not one to usually be afraid of heights, but my gut has dropped to the forest floor right now. Woo! Oh my god. This is insane. Why can things never look as impressive on camera? Oh my god. Well, this is really high. It doesn't look high here. This is high. I may have let my fear get the better of me, and tonight I have booked a site in this lovely Queenstown caravan park, which has all the creature comforts and an amazing view of the mountains, so I'm here for it. Now, coming off the back of yesterday's cooking misadventures, I am super excited to step foot in this amazing communal kitchen, which is fully stocked with everything I could ever need. And the cherry on top, there's a shower here. Good morning, and welcome to what I assume is a pretty classic rainy day in Queenstown. And I'm a lot more prepared today after a good night's sleep in the Queenstown Caravan Park. I've got a full list of mini hikes to set foot on. The first of which is this trail that hugs the side of the mountain to what is called Horsetail Falls. So we'll see what that's about. Is it cold? Yeah, it's cold. That walk was surprisingly short compared to yesterday, and these falls surprisingly small compared to yesterday, but nonetheless beautiful. where I didn't stay last night, which is beautiful standing here on this boat ramp. But to be honest, the campsites didn't really offer much. Like, I was really worried I was missing out on this phenomenal view, that waking up to something amazing from your tent side. And to be honest, the campground is completely enclosed, so night of luxury was worth it. There's this one campsite here that maybe would have been worth it, given I've got the rooftop tent. But never mind. Even though that good campsite was still available, I decided to press on. It was only 10 a.m. and I wasn't going to stop now. My general plan was to just keep heading south and see what kind of short walks or campsites I could find along the way. My first stop was to follow this shorter trail towards Nelson Falls, which was a quintessential Tasmanian rainforest walk that followed this creek bed the entire way. The waterfall was probably one of my favourites of the entire trip. It was this beautiful golden filtered light and this mossy green surrounds. I even heard someone say they spotted a platypus, but I wasn't so lucky. This track is quite leisurely and the boardwalk makes it uber accessible, which is quite a relief and will not be the same for my next hike, let me tell you. We are up and out of the rainforest now. I just hiked up Donohue's Hill or something like that, which was completely washed out and went up and up and up. But I made it to the lookout, which offers you views over the Franklin Gordon Wild Rivers National Park, which is southwest from here, the theme of this trip. A part of Tasmania that's not quite on my itinerary this time, but I'm definitely coming back because allegedly it's even wilder than the places I've been so far. This is the start of my fifth short walk in Tasmania. I'm starting to lose count. It's been a long day. My goal was to just make it to this suspension bridge, which stretches over the Franklin River and marks the start of the Frenchman's Cap track, which is a 3-day hike into the Tasmanian wilderness, and 1 day. I swear, 1 day. I'd like you to meet Angus, who is my camping buddy tonight here at Tarralee Farms.
Hey Angus. Hey dude. How you doing?